My little shockwave, my little shockwave. Hey, what's up? Hey, I mentioned in the shorts where I debuted him that this was the Hasbro collab that nobody asked for, implying My Little Pony and Transformers crossover. But I realized I think they did have that because I think I recall seeing the Optimus and Megatron pony. I'm pretty sure I've seen those, but I mean I don't know. I don't follow ponies. Maybe some of you do. Maybe some of you know. I mean I could easily go look at them on the internet, but anyway, not in front of a computer right now, so what's up? This is off to a great start, a really weird start, but it's all gravy, baby. I mean, this build, man, this is a bit of a weird one, a wild one. It's Shockwave in a kind of like Centaur, Mecha Centaur pony um, theme look, but dude, my favorite part of the build is right here, extending the. Oops, sorry about that. See, I hit the camera because I'm all hype. Extending the front part of the alt mode to cover the back, and it's not too bad because that kind of has thrusters and makes it look like he can bounce. But I actually like this a lot. It just makes it look like this cohesive piece, and I don't know, that I just say is a main or something. But I like that. I like that. I like that. And so it's a Siege Shockwave with his extra, what is it, extra accessories. Kudos to the Hasbro designers. Like, this was one of the first guys that I felt like lent to the weaponizer gimmick. Like, this was the first one that gave us extra feet and arms when Cog, Six Gun, and Brunt were being released. So I don't know, maybe I'm making this stuff up, but I felt like he was actually meant to be used to combine in all sorts of interesting ways. Because you can see even on his accessory parts, they all got tons of interesting pegs and port placement and stuff. So anyway, always in such deep admiration for the Hasbro engineers and stuff. It's too bad that you remember that we used to have the, what is it, the Marvel or the Star Wars Transformers crossovers early on, but those engineers weren't the same Transformers engineers from Takara, and it shows. A lot of those toys aren't that great. I mean, way better than what I can do. But yeah, you know what I mean. No disrespect, but anyway, dude, Shockwave is hypnotizing me because I'm on one right now. Look at that eye, dude. Yeah, that light piping. I'm just like, whoa. He's just hypnotizing me and making me say random stuff. But I like this build a lot. I've been on kind of like a horse tip, like or a centaur. I don't know, in alt mode and stuff. But I have no idea what possessed me to do this or to do this for that matter. But yeah, I mean, in terms of how this came about, I was, I've been doing these shockwave builds, right? We're turning him into like Shockbuster, or whatever, like a large scale shockwave. So I finished one of those, and as I was taking him apart, I kept the legs the way they are, but I bent them backward. Not really sure why. I just wanted to see what it would like look like, and then I just started like layering pieces on top, and yeah, he was done like just immediately. What is it? The initial piece, the framework was done immediately, and then I kind of sprinkled some accessories on top. But anyway, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool, and I mean, functionally, this part he can only really pivot right here, like he's dancing, like yeah. And if I were to move this around, he might be able to get like a bend, but this is more like a statue. But yeah, so all of it is just connected by the left and right hemisphere. And inside, we just have a Shockwave figure who has had its waist flipped 180 degrees, but each leg has also been flipped. Normally, if you spun the waist around, the toes would be pointing the other way, but you see the toes are still pointing this way, despite the waist being spun, because you got to rotate the legs 180, and then you basically plug these guys in. Plugs these guys in. Jeez, I'm just gonna show you. You know what? I won't, because dude, I love this fit because it's really tight, but like I think it's a little like too tight. Like, oof. Yeah, you could even see, it's blurry, but you can see the plastic has worn itself down. Wow. All right, I'm not going to get it more than that. But you collapse it up, and those little parts that form the handle, more or less. You keep those out, and then you fold those back on top of the back of the calves, so to speak. right? And then you bend this up 90 degrees. And then you bring this down. And then you cover the toes, however you please. Hey, I made that rhyme, unintentional. Kind of like that. And then you just have the brunt gun there. In terms of how to make this, the left and right hemisphere, you basically have the foot, right? The foot is the base. And then from there, you're plugging in the extra arm bit. And the extra arm bit, basically, you fold down. And the hole needs to be exposed on the back. And then you're plugging in one front arm. And on the front of the cannon of the foot thing, you're going to plug in the brunt leg. And the reason why you need two brunts is, well, one, for the claws, but the legs, the other ones, the adjacent one, it doesn't have a peg. And so that's why you need two brunts. I mean, for more reasons than one. And then you keep the little fin folded in. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have a little bit of a pep in my step, right? Or like I'm a little bit more alert right now. One, I've had a little caffeine, but also it's not a work day, yay! And so I have a ton of energy because other than doing some errands with my wife this morning, like I'm not working, so like my life energy isn't being drawn in by work. And look at that. And as a result, I think you could probably hear, well, maybe if this is your first time, you're like, nope. Yeah, a little bit more livelier. I mean, it's still a little bit gravelly because I am tired. But in terms of just how I feel, my disposition, yeah, I feel like very, very awake and very energetic. And really even like more hyped than I already am for building these things. Like, man, you don't know how much I love bot bending and how much I love making builds. My wife is always like, yeah, I'm shocked that you can like do this every day. Like, yeah. And at this point, in terms of my bot bending career, so to speak, I don't know, because I've done it for, I don't know, almost like 2 years now. Like they come much faster. And so in the evening, it's not like I'm just, sitting there doing this. It's like I'm hanging out doing other stuff. And then later, before I go to sleep, maybe I'll throw like an hour on it and I'll produce sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes like a lot, Some of the more complex ones where I'm just trying to actually be more creative and learn new styles and techniques, of course, those take a little bit longer. Yeah, I've had sessions where I've sat there for, I don't know, a good like 3 hours or 4 hours and stuff, just like messing around with parts, seeing like what's possible, and just exploring the engineering, so to speak. And it's really a get to know you session, because I sometimes think like, I know this is going to sound like really weird, but when I'm building and I'm using these guys, I feel like it's a little bit of a disservice if I don't understand who they are, It's me like asking somebody to work with me on a project, but yeah, I don't know anything about them. And so it's just purely transactional. That's not how I want it to be. I want it to be a personal thing. I know them, they know me. And therefore, when we build these things, it's a duet, It's not just, yeah. Anyway. The spirits and the anima and toy god and all of that in this wonderful, wonderful space of bot bending with me and you. And I appreciate y'all for being here, especially for those of y'all who just heard this long ramble at the end, the ones who watch to the end of these videos. Extra hand heart. I'm talking about this thing. Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. It's like this filter. It's like this heart. Okay, not really, because my fingers are stiff. But anyway, take care. Bye.